When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
Without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search.
Now to this week's featured case, a family in Georgia on a mission to find their 28-year-old daughter, Ashley Marie Williams, who is missing in Los Angeles. They last heard from her in a text asking for money on August 29th. But Ashley never accepted the funds, and they have heard nothing since. Very unusual for their daughter, who was in constant contact with her family. Her parents have flown out to California, walking the streets of LA, pleading for help.
Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I cut her umbilical cord. I was the first to hold her. I just want my baby back. I just want it back.
Ashley Williams was in touch with her dad every day. Sometimes it was a call, sometimes a text, but a day didn't go by without some sort of connection to her dad and to other family members.
Hey, Brandon, it's your cousin Ashley here. You remember that one time you tried to kick Flip off of the bench and you ended up like popping your kneecap?
Ashley grew up in Ohio. In 2022, her dad got a job transfer to Georgia. Ashley had been assaulted, a crime that scared her. With her family moving south, she decided to move to Los Angeles, one of the farthest places away from her imprisoned attacker.
She came to California because of an assault. She was assaulted in Cleveland, fearing that her attacker was going to get out of prison and come looking for her.
At 28, Ashley worked some retail and braided hair on the side. She was hoping to become a teacher.
She was learning Mandarin. She wanted to teach English as a second language to Asian children. So that's why I suspect, according to what I'm hearing, that there's a large Asian population in Pomona.
On August 29th, Ashley texted her dad to send her money. He sent it, but she never accepted it. And that's the last time her parents heard from her.
The whole time that Ashley had been out here in California, there has not been a day that she had not talked to her dad. So immediately after a day of her not accepting the money, her dad starts saying, well, what's going on?
Ashley's parents called the LAPD for a welfare check. Agents went to the place she'd been staying, a room at a house in the 3800 block of Crawford Street, and were told she hadn't been there since July. So Sherry and Dwayne got on a plane and flew to Los Angeles to search for Ashley and find answers themselves. They hired a private detective and went to Ashley's last known address.
These are the parents of Ashley.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Have you seen Ashley? So, oh my goodness. Oh no. She, so it's been a few months. The police, you called the police to come here, right?
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't been here in, I want to say about 2.5 months.
A call log from Ashley's phone shows she contacted the Midnight Mission on Skid Row. They went to Skid Row looking for Ashley among the homeless.
Dad started crying at some of the sites out there, because some of the sites we saw, it was just real people down and out.
There were blocks upon blocks upon blocks and blocks of homeless people. And to just imagine that my daughter might have been down there. Had we known, we would have caught the next flight out here.
Ashley have always known that we have always been there for her, to support her in whatever way. Financially, we have been. Something that we always try to instill in all of our children, no matter what the situation is, no matter how bad it gets, please come to us. We're here to support, to help, and that's what we've been doing all this time that Ashley been here in LA.
Both Sherry and Dwayne say their faith and their church community keeps them going.
Can't sleep, can't eat. It's difficult to even function. Not knowing, there's absolutely positively no way that I could function without faith.
But the pain doesn't stop.
Please come home. Let us help you. You got so many family, so many people that want you back home. That's all we want you. We want you back home safely. You don't have to worry about somebody hurting you. And if anybody, God forbid, but if there's anybody that's holding her, just let her go. Just please let her go. Let her come home.
And with us now, Ashley's parents, Dwayne and Sherry Williams. My heart absolutely breaks for the two of you and what you are going through, not knowing where Ashley is right now. Dwayne, let me start with you. Did you leave Los Angeles with any clearer picture as to what may have happened?
No, I mean, no. I just... No, I just need to know something. I just need to know something. I mean, I just want her back.
Sherry, when you were in Los Angeles and you guys went to Skid Row, you were with my friend Moses Castillo, retired LAPD detective. What clues did you uncover as you searched for Ashley?
Wow, that's a good question. We were hoping to find clues. We were hoping to be able to bring her back home with us, but that was not the case. It's just so heartbreaking. And I know how much it hurts us to have to leave Los Angeles and not have her and not have a clue at all. At all. We just knew where we were going, that was not our daughter. That was not how she was raised. That's not how she lived. So is very, very confusing to us.
What do you both know about the people that she was hanging out with? You went to that home where she was last known to be staying. What did they say about the days and weeks leading up to her disappearance? Dwayne?
Well, the one guy said that she was a loner. Ashley didn't trust a whole lot of people. After the assault in Cleveland, it's like she just retreated within herself. I mean, I didn't think that she would. I didn't think she was going to be out here that long. We supported her, but from what we're hearing is that the one guy said that she looked sad all the time, and she was, she was a loner. the times that I spoke with her, she even said, "Dad, I want to get out more," but she just didn't trust people. She didn't trust people at all. It's just that her attacker was part of her friend group. He was engaged to one of her good friends, so no one believed her when she talked about it. So these are people that she's known ever since she's been in the first, second, third grade. Some of these people she's known for that long, and they didn't believe her until the evidence came back, the rape kit came back. Then all of a sudden the story changes. But at that point, the damage had been done. So she's not very trustful of people, not at all.
Yeah, no, something like that fractures your trust. It's hard to get it back. Is there any suspicion that the case from Cleveland could have anything to do with this? Is that perpetrator of the attack still behind bars?
No, he's been released, and in speaking with the detectives in Cleveland, Ohio, he did report. He's mandated to report for, I think, 15 years. So the last report was that he was still in the area. And we're still waiting to hear back just to confirm it, because I guess his parole officer is going to reach out and just confirm that he is where he say he is. But
Sherry, what was Ashley doing in Los Angeles? Was she working? Oh, it looks like Sherry's shot may have frozen. Dwayne, was Ashley working? What was she doing in Los Angeles?
She worked at part-time at Burlington. She worked, I think, I want to say at the Salvation Army, and she also braided hair on the side. We were mostly supplementing her income. Whenever she needed, if she needed money for whatever reason, we sent it to her.
And when she reached out to you and said she was lonely, was she in fear of her safety? Was there anyone that she was concerned about?
She mentioned someone that she was concerned about, a name that we gave the LA detectives. She had sent me a message maybe 2 weeks before that she felt as though it was dangerous. And I was like, "Sweetheart, why are you there? Leave." I knew that she didn't have her ID, so I sent her money to get the ID, and she was saying that she had to catch so many buses. So my objective was to either fly here, and if I couldn't help her get her ID, I would have just rented a car to drive back.
Yeah. Dwayne, what about her phone? Have law enforcement been helpful in trying to locate her phone devices or any social media?
No.
No, they haven't been helpful, or no, they haven't found anything?
No, because we reported her missing on the 2nd. The first was a holiday. That Friday is the last time I heard from her. So her phone would turn off and turn on like it ran out of power, and like someone charged it and then they would turn it back on. Ironically, the same day they did the welfare check is the same day that her phone turned off for good. And we contacting AT&T and Apple and all these other people, you need to get a police order, and they need to, and the police are saying it needs to be evidence of some type of crime in order to ping the location of her phone. And there has to be changes. You should not, if someone's missing, you should not have to go through all of that. I paid her phone. Her phone was on my plan. So you mean to tell me that I can't even get that information? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Dwayne, I hate to tell you that so many families of missing people that we talk to experience the same thing that you're going through, and it's just not right. If there's anything that can help bring Ashley home, if it's pinging a tower to find her phone, I'm with you. I think that should be done. Sherry, do you have any theories about what may have happened as you were out there in Los Angeles, walking around Skid Row, talking to people who had last seen Ashley? I mean, what do you think happened?
Me, knowing Ashley and knowing her character, I cannot see her just disappearing off the face of the earth and just not trying to contact us in any way whatsoever. I don't know. I'm wondering if someone have her. That's what I'm thinking, because I just cannot see her not calling us and just disappearing just like that. I was hoping that we will have a better communication with LAPD, of them calling us, informing us, what's going on. I think ever since we filed the missing report, we may have talked to them. The person who is on her case, maybe 2 to 3 times in the whole time. And that's the part that is heartbreaking. And I understand, as we were showed when we met them face to face, that was set down in front of us was a book of cases, which I thought was kind of heartbreaking. We're talking about our daughter case, and you're telling us that you have all these other cases to cover. What comfort was that for us to know if our daughter case is going to be covered or not? I understand every second matters. And that's what we were crying out, yelling out. What are you guys doing? If someone do have her, what now?
Yeah. Wow, that's frustrating. Dwayne, do you all have plans to go back out there? I know you're working with Moses Castillo. What's the next step?
Oh, we're definitely going back out there. We're going back out there. We're going to keep going back there and keep going back there. We're going to find something. My daughter's not going to be another statistic. She's not going to be that. We're going to find her. We're going to get some information. Yeah, we're definitely going back out there.
Finally, we're looking at images of Ashley on the screen. What else stands out about her that people should be looking for? Any characteristics? And if you both could say something to Ashley right now so that she could hear you, what would you say? Dwayne, I'll start with you.
Sweetheart, please, I cannot. Please contact me. Please send me a message. You send me something. I just send me something, sweetheart. Something. We've been through a lot together. Our family has been through a lot together, and just let me help you. I don't care what it is. Please. And if she's being held, my daughter go. Let her go. Please. I pray you have a conscience. Just let her go.
God, I'm so sorry. Sherry, what do you want Ashley to hear?
Ashley, you know how much we love you. You know that. We miss you. My daily prayer is that if someone is holding you against your will, my prayer is that the Lord would give you a way of escape. I want you to know that we are not going to stop looking for you until we find you. Please call us. Anyway, if you can break away, try to escape.
Dwayne and Sherry, again, I am so sorry for the nightmare that you both are living right now. I hope so deeply that Ashley hears and feels your prayers and your loving words, and that if she is being held, that whomever that is does the right thing. And you've got an army of people who want to support and help you all and get the word out. I'd like to have as many people following us and our missing series to keep a lookout for Ashley in Los Angeles so that we can bring her home to you guys safely. Thank you for giving us your time, for sharing Ashley and her story with us. I promise you we will stay on it as well.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
And we would like to thank you. We would like to thank you so very much for taking our story, because we had one person that really crushed our heart that would not even cover our story because of, I don't know. So we thank you. And we thank you for the work that you do. And I pray that God continue to bless you to do what you do, because there's so many hurting families out here.
I know there are. Yep, I know there are. Thank you both. We will be in touch as we learn more information. Hang on and hold true to your faith. I know that you both will. It will get you through this, and I hope that Ashley hears and feels your prayers and love. If you have information about the whereabouts of Ashley Marie Williams, or any information that can help police track her down, you can contact the Los Angeles Police Department. Also, you can call 911.
Hello, everyone. David Rawson here. Thanks so much for joining me on tonight. I have the family of Ms. Williams who will be talking with me shortly, but I just wanted to reiterate that we have to share Ashley's story. We definitely have to get the word out there about her, because again, we have over 600,000 Americans that go missing, 3,000 a day. Ashley is one, and we definitely need to bring her home. I'll give you a little information. I will put her on the screen real quick before I bring her family on. Ashley, she is now 28 years of age. She's a Black female with black hair, brown eyes, around 5'6" in height. She's around 150 pounds. She also has went missing, last seen at the 3800 block of Crawford Street. That was in July of 2025. Her friends and families are very concerned. And we already know, like any parent, would do anything we can to find our missing child, whether they're adult, young, or not. And we ask you, every one of you, to please share Ashley's story. I'll be bringing on her family right now. We have Mr. and Mrs. Williams, who will be joining me right now on the screen. And I want to say thank you so much, you both, for being here with me this evening to talk about your daughter. And again, my heart goes out to you, because I'm there with you. I'm going through it with my son, so I know exactly what you all both are going through. And I don't wish this on anyone, but I thank you so much for entrusting me with your daughter's story, allowing me to help you in the best way that I can. I know we have each other's best interests at heart, because you already expressed that to me. You're helping me as well, my son. So I truly appreciate you right now. So I want to give you the floor and let you talk about your daughter, Ashley.
Well, I mean, she's been missing since I had last spoke to her on the 31st of August. And she's, I mean, we miss her. We miss her dearly. We miss her dearly. The 29th of August, sorry.
That's right. And you said that she was missing right out of L.A. L.A. is what I'm understanding. She was traveling from Ohio.
Right. She had been there for over 2 years. Like I said, we supported her. We paid her rent. We bought her food. We did whenever wherever we needed. And like I said, I didn't think she was going to be out there that long. I thought that she just wanted to get away. Encouraged her to come to Georgia. Encouraged her to visit her sister in New York. She was, and last time we had that conversation, which was about 2 weeks earlier, she said that she felt as though that she was about ready, and just.
Yeah, take your time.
Yes, it's heartbreaking. That's my baby. So it's heartbreaking.
Yes, sir. I know. I also wanted to. I know she wanted to be a teacher. I think she's a person that really loved others and really wanted to do some things with teaching others. If I'm correcting.
Yeah, she at a young age, which is so weird. She actually had a fascination with Mandarin. So she
Mandarin. That's right.
the right phrases and could speak it. And she was studying in school. She actually was, when the assault happened, she actually was a senior in college. All she had was just about a year to go. But she could understand Mandarin. She could I don't know if she was fluent in speaking it, but she could understand it. So if people were speaking Mandarin, she knew what they were saying. But yeah, she wanted to teach English as a second language to Asian children.
Wonderful, wonderful. She was as she was taking that out to LA to further learn about Mandarin.
The assault really derailed all of that, to be totally honest with you. Like I said, she was a senior, but after that assault, it really it really broke her. I mean, I think it was the fact that she trusted these people and they turned their back on her. They've known her they've known her a lot longer than they knew the assailant. And for them to just throw it off, I mean, put it off and saying that that they thought she made it up until the rape kit came back and he changed the story all of a sudden. And then he had the audacity to ask for leniency from the court. And I'm thankful that the judge saw through that. She was able to give a victim impact statement in court. But once again, she only had one friend that was there in court with her, when she had a friend group that was maybe, I want to say, about 8 or 9 people. So.
Yeah, and also I think that he was part of the armed forces, if I did hear that correctly.
Yeah, and that's the part that was heartbreaking as well, because I've been working at the VA for a number of years, and he would have been eligible had it not been for the nature of the crime. He would have been eligible for the Veterans Justice Program, which is a program run around this country for veterans who have legal involvement. And I actually spoke with because I've been at the VA for over 20 years, and I spoke with the chief, and I was just saying that this is what this did, and sort of, be honest with you, sort of made me lose faith in the work that I've been doing. But as he told me, that this guy is not, he doesn't exemplify everybody that you work with, and and he encouraged me. He said, if you want to transfer out that department, I understand, but he encouraged me to continue, which I did. But it was hard. It was very, very difficult. He was trying to rejoin his unit because he had fled the country. He was in the Middle East. And they flew him back and held him. I believe it was in Texas. I forget the name of the place.
Would it be Fort Hood?
Yeah, Fort Hood.
Okay.
And they had him in Fort Hood until the disposition of the case, and then that's when he was brought back to Cleveland. But he had fled the country. Yeah,
and I when I further read as well, he was associated with another young lady that was also assaulted with your daughter. Was like, that's his ex-fiance or something to that effect, if I'm reading that correct. Because the reason why I was asking, because I wonder if there was some look into those that area as well, the affiliation, if he was able to get released and probably travel to LA and things like that. One of the things that came to mind.
Yeah, it's certainly something that we checked into. According to his parole officer in Cuyahoga County, he's been reporting as required from him, and that doesn't mean that he couldn't hop on a flight and then get back in time to report. But as far as they knew, that he was compliant with all of the mandates based upon being a mandatory reporter. I'm not sure what tier he's in, but he's a mandatory reporter.
And so that was just based on just him reporting, not like cell phone ping locations and things like that could verify,
right,
like you say, exactly where he was at the time, or that was just pretty much just coming in, like you said, into the office and reporting.
Right.
I'm not really familiar with the whole process, but I was just asking
Yeah.
that's something in consideration as well.
Right. No, they didn't try to ping his phone. I guess they didn't see that it was warranted. I tried to stress the importance of it to his PO, but she insisted that he's been compliant and had no reason to believe otherwise. So it's an uphill battle. You know, I'm not trying to paint a picture of him as doing it, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not fond of him because of what he did to my daughter.
Right.
So
It's understandable. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And no, to go forward though, I know Ashley was there not too long in LA, but if I'm not mistaken, I know she was living in where one side of the building was all female, I believe it is, and one side was like pretty much male. But somehow I think what I'm hearing is understanding no one seemed to know anything, but you have so many people that's on both sides. So I just want to kind of understand a little more about the whole environment around the area where she was living at the time, because like you said, when the phone call, when you sent her some money and she didn't even pick the money up, and then you didn't hear anything else from her.
right.
And so
There were people there. We had spoken to someone there who at first said that they didn't know her. They didn't know her by Ashley Williams. They knew her as
Yasmina.
Yasmina. And then the one guy said, yeah, she was a loner. You know, that she spent a lot of time by herself. He said she always looked sad. He said, but she was really nice. But yeah, we spoke to him the day that we actually was there. That we was there by her former residence. We spoke with a guy, but the ironic thing that we kept telling the LAPD that there is something about this location, this place, and we were sort of like blown off because we said that we were given the name of Will as being a house manager, and we were told that they contacted the owner, and the owner of the home said that there was nobody that worked in the house by that name. And so, okay, well, we've been given this name, and now who the owner said that they were not given, there was nobody working there. And then when we went by and we spoke to the guy who knew her, he said, "Yeah, Will's the house manager." Now this name comes up again. We gave that to the LAPD. Not only that, he got on his phone and called Will. We spoke to Will on the phone, who said he was the house manager. But the owner who owns this house says that that person never worked for him. And we said there's something about this home that really needs to be checked out.
So how did your daughter get that nickname? That's something that from the family or friends.
To be honest with you, that's beyond me. I know that she had a fascination for that culture, so that could be why she did that. I know that she was also trying to get into music, and so that could have been a name that she used because she created beats, and she
like more like a stage name, pretty much.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So but he knew her by Yasmin. He said, "Oh yeah, I know her." But my point is that he called Will. So how could he call somebody who didn't exist? And then we just recently been told that the house has been gutted. They put all the residents out and they cleaned the house from top to bottom. To me, and I told LAPD this, and so people do that. They're destroying evidence.
Right. That's right.
Why aren't you finding out more about this house? This is something shady about the owner of the home. When you look it up and find out the owner, there's no address, there's no phone number, and this company is owned by someone outside the country. They own this property. There's something shady about this property, and we've been trying to get people. No one listens to us. No one's listened to us. They should have checked that house out. If they would have pinged her phone when that phone was coming on every day, they would have known where that phone was.
And that's a very important point you made right there, Mr. Williams. That cell phone ping data is very crucial to having all the information that you're looking for. I think even you went further to talk about, hey, that's your phone service. Your daughter is under your plan, and you are unable to even access data that belongs to you.
Right.
So yes, I understand, and that's the reason why I wrote legislation. But we'll talk about that some other time. But definitely understand that situation there. Yes, sir.
So, but to me, they allowed the LAPD. They allowed this house and whomever else to get rid of anything that possibly we could have found her by not following up and sitting on their thumbs. I'm furious with them because, when you sitting and you hear about other people that's coming up missing, they're pinging phones, they doing all this stuff. Why is it that this effort is not being put forth for my daughter? Because she's Black? I mean, I can't think of any other reason why you wouldn't put forth the same effort.
And you brought up that point as well, because we have 40% of all missing American cases of people of color, though we only make 13 to 14% of the population. But a lot of times we do kind of tend to pinpoint race being a factor when it comes to the way that our cases are handled. For instance, I hear you both speak about the homeless population. I forgot Skid Row. Skid Row is the name. And your daughter is not associated with that kind of lifestyle. She come from a home. She come from a loving parent. She come from an area where she wouldn't per se would go down that road. And if she had to go down the road, she definitely had a communication with both of you to say, hey, I have a little trouble here. I need some help. But that was the automatic reflex that what I'm hearing, that it was thrown to you all. Say, hey, her phone probably was in this area, Skid Row. She might be part of that population. So it was automatically shifting her from a person that she's not to a place where she's not from. So I can understand your thought process when you're seeing racist factors, because those things are automatically sometimes thrown. We have to really work hard to put our own children, for instance, in a better light, and really show people who they really are, in hopes that they can value our loved one just as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, and one thing though, speaking about someone you mentioned also that was I think came from New York, was tracking. I didn't understand, was tracking you or tracking Ashley. I'm not sure. You said something to the fact someone how they was trying to track or follow you or something, that type deal. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I think I remember hearing something similar to that effect.
No, not.
I remember somebody. I have another daughter that lives in New York, and she said that there was a person who contacted her, who basically was saying that to check out this and check out that. I spoke to her. She said she was a concerned mother. Now we also got information about that this house had more of a history than had an extensive history.
It was a case of someone, I don't know, was it an owner that lived at this house? As you know, when your stuff is out there on the internet, you get all kinds of people telling you to look here, to look there, to give you this story, to that story. And it was a very interesting one that a young lady had contacted one of our daughters through the social media and given her a case number and told us that we really need to look into this. This case number went back to the house where Ashley was staying at. And it had something to do with a child, abuse of a child. And the case was out of Texas. And it was this long old docket that we were trying to look at, as well as a couple of leads that we had gotten that we had gave to the LAPD, but we never really heard more about it. They did not include us in it. There was one guy went as far as that worked at the Trader Joe's there in LA. I think that was downtown. We asked them, could you please let us review the videotape with you once the store manager approved of us seeing the tape? They never, it was like pushed off. The detective was like, well, after months and months and months and months, we called them. He said, oh yeah, well, by the way, yeah, I looked at it. It wasn't her. And we're like, what? We asked you specifically, when you get the approval to look at this tape, can we view it? Because they had sent us several pictures. It wasn't her. So we asked, when you guys get these pictures or whatever, could you please let us be the one to verify and say yes or no if it's her? Who better to say if it's her or not than us? So a couple of these, you know, even we got a lead saying that someone, she was in Vegas, someone seen her in Vegas. Our detective supposedly had contacted the Vegas police. We're asking questions. LAPD was supposed to contact them. We're asking questions. Still to this day, we have not heard anything. So it's very, very interesting with the LAPD with our daughter, and what we're finding with African American and specifically kind of sort of the LAPD, the detectives on a case, was making it out to us to say, oh, she wants to be missing.
Yes, and that's, you know, that sounds so familiar, in that language. But yes, I want to back up. You were saying that who best know their daughter, and so a lot of times we do get the tips, because I get them as well. And someone will say, hey, this person looked like your son, or this person, you know, we're the best person to actually identify, because in any situation, law enforcement, as well as, like you said, the once the owner of those videos or those pictures as well, should be contacting the family to actually look directly, because we know certain particulars about a features of a person. A person can change their hair, or they can change certain things, appearance, but we know our child, we know our person. So we definitely need the eyes and ears of the family member. So yeah, that's really problematic on that end. Law enforcement out there in Vegas, that's another problem. But definitely we have to keep pushing. I mean, we have to keep pushing. So that's the reason why we have forums like this. We have families, we get together, we can talk about that, because we have people right now that's actually listening. And again, that can bring more leads, because, you know, people listen and they hear and they talk about it, and then you know, you get more leads and things like that into the case. It may be people say, hey, I've seen your daughter here and I've seen them there, but we give us an opportunity to check those things out to make sure if it is indeed or not your daughter. So I'm doing my part here, and I'm going to make sure I continue to share Ashley's story. And you know, you both have me on your side. We have each other. We are part of a family that, I guess you could say, a club that a lot of people say that we don't want to be a part of, but we definitely here. We definitely here with each other, and I'm definitely here for you. Put your shoulder on. I put my shoulders on yours, and we are working together to find out our missing loved ones. It's another. Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
What's so interesting is the LAPD. First and foremost, we know that the first 48 hours is so crucial. It took them forever to even assign a detective to her case. After we reported her being missing, they did the welfare check. There was so many mixed stories. Even when we got there to talk with the detective, finally, he said that he spoke with the owner of the house. The owner of the house said that, you know, as my husband said, they didn't even know this will. Now, you have property. You have managers or whomever who run your house, property managers or whatever, but you don't know what their names are. And it was almost like the LAPD was like siding with the owner and saying that, oh, she just wants to be missing. The owner said that, you know, that Ashley was supposed to have got put out. What? Put out? That's something that we were sending her money every month to pay the rent. But then you say, the owner says there's no house manager. Everybody else no will. We kept begging and begging. Could you please investigate this will person? When we were there, the will person that finally, the owner don't know him, but everybody else in this house knows Will. We went there, we talked. The guy is on the phone talking to our private detective, and he's saying, oh, well, she got put out 2 months ago and she stayed in front of the house. What?
And she didn't call. I don't believe that.
Exactly. So
And she would have called. She would.
Right.
way.
When I spoke to her, she would tell me, for example, that I'm not feeling well. I'm on my cycle. She said, and all I did was slept all day. So how can she be standing outside and sleeping all day? It's not consistent with what she was telling us versus what this will had told us. And then the police this I mean, to me, I'm not a detective. I don't claim to be the smartest man in the world. But I also know that when something just doesn't seem right.
Right.
You know, when
Right.
you got two different stories, I'm going to investigate. If that's my job, I'm going to try to figure out, okay, what's going on. They just, when the owner said that there was no will, they just accepted that. Well, there's no will at the house. Despite the fact that we went by there, we talked to Will, we gave them Will's number. We had a phone number for this Will. We gave them all that information. Well, the owner said that there's no will working there, and they accepted it. Like that's the end of it. So I don't know what name you came up with and what number you have, and you know, just like the same detective, you know, he said that I went to Trader Joe's and I saw the photos, and and it wasn't her. I said, how do you know? Well, I saw the pictures. I said, well, why don't you show us the pictures? Who would know her better than us?
That's right.
This detective, he should not be working in that job. He should not be working in that job doing what he does, because he
would not return our calls. Since our daughter been missing, we've only talked to him maybe 3 to 4 times. When we call, he's not in. We requested to talk with his boss. We get no return calls. We get no updates. We get, well, what's going on? Well, it kept sounding like, and actually, really, he kind of told our private detective she wants to be missing. So therefore, he had this attitude of she wants to be missing. So he was not putting any effort whatsoever in finding her. None.
Right. And that's that preconceived conception of the person that they go looking for. I have mentioned one of the tools that is available, and I mentioned to you both, is the FOIA, to get all the information you can from law enforcement, what they have and have not done. That can kind of give you a baseline of what approach you need to force law enforcement to work on your behalf. And meaning that even with the detective who refusing to take, and it's obvious that you have a leads in the case. Those are leads when it comes to the William guy. I think it's his name, William. And Will, and you have leads there. You have, like you said, the story that she was supposedly being in the front of the house and she was kicked out, and then also had a conversation with you, and didn't even mention about anything about being evicted or anything else, and to that matter. You have leads in the case, and those leads need to be worked. So you can kind of find out what have and have not been done. So with the FOIA request, Freedom Information Act, that's one start. The other part is get engaged in the community. We want to make sure that the LAPD do not see this case as no one cares. and give them some type of shade. So what I'm asking everyone to do right now, who's listening, and do the same thing they have done in Daniel's case, is to give them a call and let's find out. I need to know about Ashley Williams' case, and I encourage everyone else to do the same. Ask for the FOIA request. Put pressure on LAPD, because when you start asking for those information, then they say, "Hey, we're about to get found out of not doing anything," so they'll start doing something, so they won't look bad on this police report. So ask for those things. I'm asking the public, ask for the information. Call the LAPD. The number's right there on the bottom of the screen, and ask for these items to help the Williams family. Also, I know you both have been trying to travel back and forth to LA to even walk the street yourself in the areas yourself to go look for your daughter, and that is costly. I talk to people all the time; they don't understand the cost factor when it comes to trying to move back and forth. It seems like it's a little easy, but it's not financially. So I know you both have set up a GoFundMe for yourself. And I want everybody to also help the family out, help you both, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, on their travel. Going back, I don't know your needs definitely, but I do have the QR code for those who want to utilize QR code here. It is the urgent help to locate missing Ashley Williams. You can look that up on the GoFundMe. Also, the QR code is here to help the family, help Mr. and Mrs. Williams. And they travel back and forth. They are actually doing the same thing I was doing with Daniel, putting on their detective hats and their search hats, and at the same time being a father and mother that should be relying on law enforcement to do this job. And they can sit there and focus on bringing their daughter home. And so they need help. So again, you all can please get this QR code, look up urgent help. There's other way also, Mr. and Ms. Williams, there's other way they can also reach out to you. I don't have that information. You want to share that if they want to come to the social media platform or your page, where some of the listeners can contact you and say, "Hey, we want to help out in some form or fashion."
Well, we're actually going to create a
Facebook page, as you have, like with Daniel. We have someone working on that now for us as well. And as you said, yes, it get very expensive. We are now in search of a new private investigator. So if anyone know, private investigators, they are not cheap for their time, their hours, is just amazing. The fees that they charge for that. And yes, flights and hotels and all of that going back and forth to LA. But what's so interesting now is that the detective that was on the case, my husband called the other day, and they never called and told us that, or he never called and say, "Hey, by the way, I'm no longer working your case. There's a new detective on your case." But what's so interesting is, to me, and I said to my husband, this is very interesting. He tells my husband that there's another detective working on the case, but I'm still going to be involved because I have a personal interest. Why do you have a personal interest now? What is your personal interest?
That's real strange. Yeah, that's very strange.
Why do you have personal interest now on our daughter case when you didn't even care before, when you slapped down in our face when we came to you in the office and put a book before us and told us these are all the cases that you're working on?
That's
but
right.
now you have a personal interest, but somebody else is working the case, but you're still going to be involved. I don't understand that.
That's right. I want to say this real quick, and that's so reminiscent of Daniel case, the same thing. If I didn't call the Buckeye Police Department just by getting an update, I would have never known that Daniel didn't have the old detectives on this case. But I do know law enforcement would do that as well. Won't let the family alert the family what they're doing. But I do have one thing from the Instagram side. I have Gil Petty saying, "Will the property owner need to be interviewed together on record with the cops so you can hear what's been said." the family. You all should know what Will had to say. Also, they say, David, what's the next step would you take to given the efforts from that cop, the sub efforts from the cop, for better words. And what I say again is to bring some pressure on the LAPD to make sure they're not treating your daughter's case as a cold case. It's not, because what I'm hearing is a lot of things they can explore right now, but we have to get them moving. And the way we normally get things moving is engaging with the public. Public interest is always that driving force with law enforcement. I hate to say it, but a lot of times things, I can use an example in Daniel's case. Everything we know about my son's case came from my own investigation, my private investigator. But the law enforcement, Buckeye Police Department, would say, hey, we did X amount of searches. The searches they have done would not have been done if the public wasn't calling and texting, calling and emailing and ask for the FOIA request. So what's happening when they're showing some of their interest, and then also the news channels coming in, they would go do a search. They'll go do this and they'll go do that, but they have to actually be pushed to do it. So what I encourage is to try to make sure we keep the public engaged. So everyone that's listening to share the story,
Yes.
To make those phone calls, to ask about Ashley. What are you doing about the Ashley Williams case? It's okay. Everyone has the right to call the police department and ask these questions. So a lot of times we don't want to question law enforcement, but we need to. What are you doing in this case? How do I apply for this FOIA request? Because I'll tell you, if they see a certain amount of FOIA requests coming in, is exposing them for not doing X, Y, Z. And then what they would do to cover their own behinds, in lack of words, is they will actually go out and do some of those, perform some of the duties they should have been doing in the first place. So that's what we're hoping for, and definitely want to make sure we're pushing that pressure. That's what I would say. And real quick, I want to go in the chat session as well and add some of the comments that I have here. That I want to make sure I'm not missing the back. I'm sure they have some things for you and your husband. When will you go back to LA? Put flyers out in Inglewood and Watts and Compton, Skid Row is homeless people mostly. And that's a question for you both.
Well, we actually were looking to go out there. They want us to come out to give a DNA sample. So we really have planned to be out there within the next few weeks. I'll say by the end of if not the end of this next week, the week after. I'm taking some time off, so I definitely want to go out there and just to talk and just find out what I need to do.
That's right, and definitely again, you all, if you can help the Williams family to on the travel expenses, very expensive going back and forth. So we definitely ask you to definitely donate if you can. Please donate and help the family. We also have Chief Durham here. 3800 block of Crawford Street in South Los Angeles is a bad place. It was a bad place 50 years ago when I worked in that area. I'm not familiar with that, and you've both been in that area, so you probably can relate to what he's saying there about the area where Ashley went missing, that vicinity where she went missing. I really pray that she's okay from what I'm hearing. But you both was there, so you can kind of speak to that behalf, I'm sure.
And that's what we were told. We know nothing about LA at all. And we don't even know how she ended up in that area looking. We trusted in her to look for safe places to live. And we don't even know how she ended up, honestly, in that area. We thought when she told us that, my husband, aunt had known people who lived in that area, and we were told that it was okay. It was a nice area. And when we were actually there on that street, the houses didn't look, like down or anything like that. So when we're hearing that, oh wow, that's a bad area, it is really like blowing our mind.
Well, the parents didn't look that way, right? I understand that.
We never have taken a step in Los Angeles, so we didn't know. And knowing her, I know how scary she was. So that really was surprising.
Yes, I can imagine. And yeah, definitely. Like you said, the appearance wouldn't appear that on face value But the language that people say in outside would say that's a bad area. I can understand that, right? And being an outsider from someone coming from a different state, you wouldn't know until you ask.
Mhm.
Right. I have one more here for you, and I would not bring any more questions, but we have JC Adams. Is there an address to the police department where we can write letters? And I would provide that as well, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, to the people here that's following. I will make sure I get that information to them. I thought I had it right here on offhand. But I do have the LA Police Departments. Let's see, I think I had it just here for a second.
And the detective name is on the flyer as well. And I know it's that their main Los Angeles Police Department there. The big one there is, I'm not sure if we have the address.
Okay. I have the address is 100 West 1st Street. That's Los Angeles, California, 90012. That's 100 West 1st Street, Los Angeles, California, 90012. That's what I have on the flyer.
And we also have the detective name, Detective Campos.
How do you spell that?
And that's Campos. And his phone number is 213-996-1805.
Repeat that.
That number again is 213-996-1805.
Now, this is supposed to be the new detective. The detective that's on the flyer is Detective Lopez. So apparently what we're hearing, that I guess they're both is working it, and Lopez have a special personal interest all of a sudden now.
There should be no personal interest, right? Right.
That's what he told my husband, and I can't understand that.
And Lopez, his number is the same. It's 213-996-1801. That is his extension. But to reach the the missing persons division is 213-996-1800, 1800. That's 213-996-1800, and that's the missing persons division for the LAPD.
So we beg and we plead that, as you were saying, Mr. Robertson, that if people could call in, flood the calls. When we went to LA, we were hoping to get a search party. We couldn't get that. We couldn't get a press conference. But 3 days before our daughter went missing, we get there. A Caucasian girl come missing. In 3 days, they had a press conference in front of the LA Police Department. So go figure that. And because now that one of the persons who posted about that's a bad area, that's when we asked Lopez about this area. That's what he said. He said it was a few blocks down from Skid Row. We're like, okay, well, what does that mean? So all of a sudden, when he said, well, why would she be in this area? You know, he's asking us. So right then he painted a picture of it and why he thought she should have been there, or whom she come from. And that's not, our daughter was not raised there, none of our children, not that we're better than anyone else, but that's not our life. That's not our life.
And she had a safety net as well. If anything would have went wrong, she called her parents, and that was the key. You have a tight knit family, and you're looking out for your daughter. So she didn't have like a reason to be on Skid Row or go down Skid Row. So that's what the biggest part to me is.
Right. I mean,
so we're like, wow, how can you think that? How can you say that? Every Black person is not or live in the dumps.
Right. That's right.
From drugs, alcohol, whatever you thinking, I don't know. But that's the impression that we got, because he said, well, and they made it very clear to us that if we find her and she say that she don't want you all to know, we can't tell you. First and foremost, why would you think that she would not want us to know? Someone have our daughter. Someone have our daughter.
That sounds like a cop out. One thing for sure, adults do have a right to their privacy. However, if law enforcement, I tell you a story. One of my detectives, my private investigators told me. I have multiple private investigators on the public on the know of one. And one of my private investigators, who is a friend of mine as well, told me a story about a couple, a husband and wife. The husband went missing. The wife was really frantic about it. She called law enforcement, put a missing person report. They went to go look for the gentleman. They eventually found him. He was at a hotel. The story sounds rough on the edges, but when they approached him at this hotel, it was indeed that he wanted to be alone. He wanted to be to himself. He wanted to be missing in certain aspects. At the same time, though he had a right to his privacy, law enforcement did come back and alerted the wife and say, hey, we made contact with him. He's fine, but we can't tell you where he's at because that protects his privacy, his adulthood. But what it did for the wife is gave her comfort to know that he's okay. And so what I'm saying is, if you look at it that way, law enforcement using that as a cop out, that truth as a cop out to say, we don't have to tell you nothing. And this person, this is making an assumption that she somehow, in Daniel's case, the detective told me that maybe Daniel wanted to join the monastery, become a monk. The wildest thing you could think of, my son deciding to be a monk, and so those are the things to be a cop out to say, hey, I really don't want to go looking. I really don't want to use the resources to go look for your child, your person that, so it's too often that we have to, as people of color, how to humanize our loved ones. And so that's why I was expressing to you both about the website, the social media platform, where you can control the narrative. You control that narrative. A lot of things you hear. I have been for years, for instance, fighting the battle of the narrative that law enforcement wanted to take to make it appear that Daniel was unstable. He's depressed and he was in love with a woman he didn't know. And, they went to sensationalize everything they can. And I had to battle that on top of trying to locate my son. So we often have to do that. We have to do that. And we have to put up pictures. And we have to talk about our loved one and show, hey, Ashley is she was learning Mandarin. She's wanted to be a teacher. She's have dreams and aspirations, those type things. And it's sad that we have to do that just to get someone to say, hey, I value this person just as much as the parents do. But my prayers and my love are with you both. I am not going to leave you by your side. So I'm here with you all the way through. We all on this thing together and to give you some comfort. And I pray that I can push this because I know you were in Georgia, but I'm in South Carolina. And also Ashley went missing in LA in California. I'm pushing legislation that will do exactly what you were asking about, Mr. Williams. And when you said this, that cell phone belongs to you. That data belongs to you. I have legislation right now that I have written for Arizona, but it's pushing right here in South Carolina that addresses just that. That data is your data. It don't belong to the telecommunication company. It don't belong to law enforcement. It belongs to you. Your daughter is an authorized user under your account. Yes, she have the right to her privacy. That's the reason why it is done in conjunction with law enforcement. You don't have to read her text messages. She can preserve her rights, her privacy. But at the same time, for a situation of having a missing loved one, we can know what happened to her when she don't have a voice for herself. Say, hey, come find me. I'm right here. My cell phone can give you the information where I was at last. And it pretty much showed that she wasn't around Skid Row and anything else, because what you said do not make sense. So I'm getting upset because I'm trying not to get upset, but I'm listening to the story and I see the injustice that has been done in your daughter's case, where there's been some push off because you're not there. You're not there in LA. You're out of state, and you have to keep traveling back and forth. So it definitely gives law enforcement shade to say, hey, I think if I want to throw this in as well. I think you was mentioning that one detective or some law enforcement officer or someone gave you a whole stack of papers, say, hey, and threw it on the table and say, hey, we got all these cases. We should be worrying, basically why we're worrying about her case, and we got all of these too. If I'm not saying, I don't say I want to misquote that, but I knew it was something to that effect was said, right? And that's hurtful. That's hurtful. That's very hurtful. So what I'm asking everybody to do, who's watching to please do what you have. I've seen it, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, when the public get engaged and they are calling. Someone already asked the address, because when they write letters and they're asking, that make law enforcement do something. Trust me, it works every time. So I'm asking everyone to please do that in this case, and I will make sure I provide the information. I'll talk about it again, and I provide the information, the address, and a matter of fact, I open up an area on my on Please Help Find Daniel to address that as well. You know, the addresses where people can write, because I do have a thing called mail-in protest. It'll be something similar to that effect, where people can mail in a protest and stuff. It's something to that effect. I would try to help you both with that as well. So thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Again, you come on anytime you want to. We can do some things together. I know you say we want to work together, try to get some things done. So I truly appreciate that as well.
Yes. So just call on us. We thank you so very much, and you are in our prayers as well as all the other families that's missing loved ones. It's just heartbreaking to turn on the television, to go to social media and seeing all these missing people, and it's like, my God, what is going on? What is going on?
You know, and it's sad we don't get to talk about it as much. You know, I'm running for office, running for Congress, because that's what pushed me to run. You know, the cell phone ping thing which you were talking about, Mr. Williams, that caused me to run for office, and it also caused me to bring to attention, national attention, of the crisis that's happened with missing Americans, because we don't hear it. The news cycles get so drowned out about one person in the White House, for instance, and all the drama that's going on. We having over 600,000, I keep saying it over and over again, 600,000 Americans go missing every year. And we talk about the opioid crisis, but this is a crisis too. And a lot of people don't understand it until it hits home. I would have never, and I'm sure you both, never in a million years would thought you have a missing loved one, especially your child, you know, and that's really, really hurtful, really hurtful.
They just had a real big bus that my husband was watching in LA. Not long ago?
Yeah, just a few days ago, where they arrested 600 people involved with human trafficking.
See, yes,
multi-state, and the detective was like, well, you know, it sounds like a lot of people, but it's just a drop in the bucket. There's something about the owner of this home. I keep saying that.
Yes.
There's something about this owner of the home who doesn't even live in the United States. There's something about this owner of this home.
And the first thing I'll think about human trafficking as well, because you know, there's some of the aspects that's in Daniel's case as well, but that like you said, that cover up and a lot of aspects sound like human trafficking.
Right. It's this.
I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. I'm so sorry.
So yes, we just plead and we beg, please, we need help, because those who we thought that can help us have not helped us, are not helping us, and have just ignored us. Now our daughter is no longer on their page of missing people. So that goes to tell us that now the case is cold.
It's no, it's not cold. We're not going to accept that, Mrs. Williams. Like I said, everyone, please help the Williams family. This is GoFundMe. They set up to travel back and forth. They had to do the same thing I've been doing for Daniel for all those 50 weeks of desert searching. They have to do it yourself, and we need help. So please help the family out and help them get back and forth to LA. But definitely do what you have been doing for Daniel for many years now. Mail-in protests, what I have been doing, but similar to that. Write the letters to the LAPD asking specifically about Ashley Williams, Ashley Marie Williams. Ask about her case. If you can, please also, I think someone put it on the Instagram side. I saw that earlier. And I'm sorry for everyone that's on the Instagram side. I'm unable to share you on the screen. But they put the address, the FOIA request information, the link to request the FOIA request, FOIA for the LAPD on the Ashley's case. And request information. Just keep doing it. Just keep requesting the information. What it does, it causes them to put attention on Ashley's case. And they have to, because they have so many days and have in a reasonable time to produce redacted versions of this police report, for instance, or things that you guys are asking for about Ashley's case. But that put her back under that radar. And also it gives Mr. and Mrs. Williams, when they go travel, a leg to stand on when they can demand some stuff, and get some action done on Ashley's case. One of the things that we definitely saw on the chats just a while ago is, and I don't want to keep you on here too much longer, Mr. and Mrs. Williams. The question was pretty much, you allowed to even see the room or wherever she was living inside the house, be able to see what, if anything that looked out of the ordinary or those type things, because that was really important as well.
They cleaned it. It's cleaned.
Well, when we went there,
we wasn't allowed to see it, and
they wouldn't let us in the house.
Right. And we was just informed that they were renovating it. How convenient. How convenient that now you're going to renovate. Now, since you know that people are looking at that, that house, it has something they need to investigate. The owners of that home,
yes,
they need to investigate them. They really need to.
But no, we never was. Even the detective, they did not say, "Well, let's go to the house." The detective himself did not go to the house and look and search.
Wow.
The only time that someone looked in the house when we called and we asked them to go and do the welfare check. Only the very first set of cops that went there said that they took the cops said they took them to where she was supposed to be sleeping, and that's all we heard.
Oh wow! And, Christine Williams on Evans on Instagram was saying, she says, "I'm so sorry what you both are going through." She also have true crime witness. That's true crime with Annie. I'm not sure if you're asking, or what I think she's doing is trying to see if you both can get also on other social media platforms. So she's tagging some of the other podcasters and things like that. Because again, what was told to me, the Black and Missing Foundation, when Daniel first went missing, I just asked Derek and Natalie, I asked them about going on different podcasts, which ones they recommend. They say all of them, big and small, all of them. Because what happens is everyone have an audience. Everyone have people that follows their podcast. And your story, as long as your story get out there, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, you'll get more people involved. And like I said, direct them to writing those letters, making those phone calls, asking for those FOIA requests. That helps out a lot. And also, again, I'm asking everyone on this one, I'm sure on the other platforms do the same, to donate to your GoFundMe, because I tell people over and over again, and I've been fortunate for 4 years to have people to have been donating for years to help me continue the fight that I've been fighting, helping you both also, because I trust me, I know the importance of funding and need help to get out there, because it's not cheap and it's not easy. A lot of times families cannot continue to fight for their loved ones because they just run out of funds. I was in Arizona fighting the fight. I asked them to keep my boots on the ground, because as long as you're in law enforcement face, they actually do things. But as soon as you leave their presence, they get them room to slow down and everything. That's what's happening right now currently, because I'm not in Arizona any longer. But what I'm saying is that when the funding goes out, you have to return home. So I'm asking everyone to please support Mr. and Mrs. Williams on their efforts to find their daughter, Ashley. And please go out. And it says the Brittany fundraiser. That's that correct? It says donate to Brittany's fundraiser.
That's our other daughter who, yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that part is okay. Say urgent help. Yes.
Yeah, that's for Ashley. And one last thing that's very interesting is that the detective, that the very first detective that's on the case, told us that I don't even think this Ashley is still here in LA. Really?
On what basis did he put that on?
Nothing. He said he thinks. He had no evidence to support that.
When someone came up and said they seen her in Trader Joe's, they come to find out that this guy that's in Trader Joe, I guess, I don't know, our detective said that he didn't have it all together. And he was going out to people's houses looking, all this other madness. So at that point, the detective said, well, I don't think she's really probably in LA anymore.
And the ironic thing is that they thought that this guy was touched, who was going around knocking on doors and asking people, but the detectives wasn't even doing that. They want to say there's something wrong with him because he was actually doing something, and they wasn't.
Oh God.
So,
well, Ms. Williams, thank you so much again for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Again, everyone, I'm going to do my part to help you both. And if you definitely, we'll talk behind the scenes, but if you definitely need my help on establishing some of the stuff we talked about, I'll help you on with those two as well, because I have some years experience now of dealing with social media and things like that. So my goal is to always share my knowledge, what I know, to help other families in everywhere that I can, in every capacity that I can. So again, we are in this together. We're going to bring Ashley home. We're going to bring Daniel home. We're going to bring all missing Americans home. We're going to close that disparity gaps that we see as well. So thank you so much, you both. And please come back on with me again. I know everyone that's listening right now you have their support. And I pray for you, and my prayers and my love is always with you.
And we pray for you, and we thank everyone, all of your listeners, for listening to our story and to spread the word. Please just spread the word and help us as much as you can. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you again. If anyone have information about Ashley, please call the Los Angeles Police Department at 1-877-527-3247 or 1-800-222-TIPS. It's on the bottom of the screen there. We want to bring Ashley home. We definitely want to support Mr. and Mrs. Williams. You can do so by they will be opening up a Facebook page and dedicated to Ashley. So look out for that. I will be sharing that on my platform. I come back again. You guys know I come every Friday. I will share that information once the Williams family have that up. Also, I will have some information with the address of the LAPD where you can mail in those letters like you do with the mail-in protests. I will put that on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com so you all can see that next to each other, so you have an idea exactly how that works. But actually be able to get these letters sent out, get these PDFs, I like to say, sent out to the department, to that exact chief of police, if it's the sheriff department, the sheriff, and we're going to definitely get some action and attention in the case. So thanks so much again, you both. God bless you, and thank you everyone else. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bless everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.